Okay, so we hear it literally every single day, right? AI is getting smarter, it's getting faster, more capable than we ever could have imagined. But, as these systems get woven into every part of our lives, a really critical question pops up. Is smarter the only thing that actually matters? In this explainer, we're going to dive into some brand new research that tackles a vital, missing piece in the whole AI puzzle: wisdom. And this quote from Dr. Sam Johnson at the University of Waterloo just hits the nail on the head. I mean, think about that for a second. We're building something with absolutely breathtaking intellectual power, but it might lack the maturity, the judgment, to use that power safely. It's such a powerful analogy for where we are with AI right now. And yeah, that leads us right to the big question for today. As AI's abilities just keep racing forward, is just making them more and more intelligent the right path? Or are we missing something totally essential for making them safe and reliable? Well, researchers actually have a name for this, and it's pretty catchy. They call it the child genius problem. It's this idea that we're creating AI with this raw, incredible intelligence, but without the judgment, the context, or the maturity that we normally associate with wisdom. So in other words, it's brilliant, but it's still a child. And this really gets to the heart of it. If you give an AI a clear, well-defined task, like crunching data or writing some code, its performance is just unreal. But let's be honest, the real world isn't a neat and tidy spreadsheet. It's messy, it's ambiguous, and when these systems are faced with unpredictable social situations or tough calls where there's no clear right answer, they often just stumble. They just don't have the toolkit to handle that kind of uncertainty.
But what if we could build that toolkit? Now, this is where things get really exciting. There's a groundbreaking new study in the journal Trends in Cognitive Sciences, and it's the very first to lay out realistic, concrete ways to build wisdom directly into AI. So this isn't just some philosophical debate anymore. It's actually becoming a technical roadmap.
Okay, so to really understand this roadmap, we first have to break down this crucial distinction. What's the actual difference between a smarter AI and a wiser one? Let's take a look. So check this out. This comparison just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got AI's current strengths: raw knowledge, massive processing power, and just acing those well-defined tasks. But on the right, that's the missing piece. That's the wisdom. It's the ability to handle uncertainty, to navigate tricky social situations, and to make those really tough judgment calls. So the key point here isn't to replace intelligence, it's about adding these vital reasoning skills on top of it. So how in the world do you build something as, human as wisdom into a machine? The key, according to these researchers, comes down to a concept called metacognition.
So what is metacognition anyway? Well, to put it simply, it's kind of like self-awareness for your own thoughts. It's the ability to step back, look at your own thought process, question your assumptions, and, this is so important, recognize when you don't actually know something.
For an AI, this would be a total game changer. So instead of just spitting out a travel time, a metacognitive AI might say something like, "My best guess is 30 minutes based on historical data, but just so you know, I can't see real-time traffic right now, so my confidence is pretty low." See? It's about teaching it to know its own limits and to weigh different viewpoints. It's the difference between just having an answer and truly understanding how it got there.
And hey, this isn't just some high-in-the-sky theory. A whole team of researchers from the University of Waterloo and other top universities have actually come together to lay out a concrete plan for how we can start building these wiser machines. They break wisdom down into 3 trainable parts. First up is intellectual humility, which is so crucial because it means the AI knows its own limits and doesn't just confidently make things up. Second is perspective seeking, so it can move beyond a single rigid viewpoint and look at a problem from multiple angles. And third is context adaptation, so it gets that the right answer in one situation might be the totally wrong one in another. The roadmap itself has 3 really clear steps. First, you actually train the models on these wisdom components using data that shows things like humility and perspective. Second, you go beyond just training and you design brand new AI architectures from the ground up to better support this kind of reasoning. And finally, and this is a huge one, you create new benchmarks to actually measure and test for wisdom. Because, let's be real, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. This is about moving beyond just testing for raw intelligence.
Okay, so this is all fascinating from a technical perspective. But why should you and I care? What's the real-world payoff of creating a wise AI? Well, the benefits are absolutely enormous. A wise AI would be way more robust, able to handle unexpected curveballs with grace instead of just breaking.
It'd be more transparent so we can actually understand why it's making its decisions. It would be more cooperative, working with us towards shared goals. And maybe, most importantly, it would just be safer, because it would finally have the judgment to match its incredible intelligence.
And this all leads to the ultimate goal, alignment. By building in wisdom, we can create AI systems that better understand and align with our human values and goals. And that transforms AI from just being a powerful tool into a much more reliable and trustworthy partner for all of us. So we end up right back where we started, with that powerful analogy. In a way, we are the parents of this emerging artificial intelligence. And this research really poses the most important question of all. As our child genius gets smarter by the second, how do we make sure we also teach it to be wise? It's a question we're all going to need to answer, together. Thanks for tuning in.